Hey everyone, Screaming Geek Media here. I am Jerry the Geek. This video, we're going to talk about the 4K of Alien. But before we do, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, if you like home theater, movies in general, check out my other videos on my channel because I do these reviews. I do unboxings, discussions, collection updates. Check those out, see what you like, hit the like button, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on as well. And always, comment below, let me know what you think, good or bad, I don't care. So let's talk about Alien on 4K. Came out in 1979, Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, John Hurt, and of course directed by the great Ridley Scott. This has always been one of my favorite movies. I grew up with this. Of course, I didn't see this until it came to, VHS in the 80s. Because, hey, I was only going on 9 years old when this came to the theater, so I was not old enough to go see this. So I didn't see it until the VHS days, but I loved it from day one. It was such a scary movie. It's always been one of my all-time favorite movies. And, in the last couple of years, I've been going through and picking up this movie on so many different formats, which I actually did a separate video of that you can go back and look for. So this 4K release of Alien comes from 20th Century Fox, came out in 2019, right before Disney got a hold of them. Filmed in 35mm, has HDR10 plus, does not have Dolby Vision. But a phenomenal transfer here. I mean, for being an old movie and being such a dark movie, the lighting throughout, they did an incredible job here. You would think it would be too dark, but they did a great job with the lighting, and it comes across the screen that way. You see the darkness, but you see pops of light. You got nice little pops of color. The shots with the light, all the lights on, it really pops off the screen. The whites are very nice. The whites are very well done, nice and solid. The interior details of the ship that you would normally not see, that really comes out on the 4K here. The light switches inside the shuttles when they're doing the taking off. The water details, which the one scene with, I just watched, I forgot the name already, the character played by Harry Dean Stanton, when it goes in one big room and there's water dripping down. I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. They're in space. It's not freaking raining, so I don't know where the water's coming from, but the textures of water coming down, you can hear it as well. Coming down on him, he puts his head up and just the way it's lit and all the water droplets on his face, all the details really pop right there. Then he puts his cap back on and it kind of turns and you'll see all the water textures on the hat itself. Phenomenal. I was so impressed with that scene right there. The one scene when they first get on the one planet and they go into the ship and opens up and you see the dead alien sitting in that big chair, whatever it is. The details right there really pop all the lighting. So overall, phenomenal transfer here. Very impressed. Now, as far as a Blu-ray comparison, I did not do a Blu-ray comparison. I thought about it, but I'm kind of leaning toward not doing it as much on my channel. Maybe talk a little bit about them once in a while, but it's just so hard to translate as far as screenshot comparisons. When it comes to screenshots, everything's always loosely translated because it just, I cannot translate that to you to what it actually looks like on my TV. So you don't really get a true representation of what it looks like. Talking about it, this is a considerable upgrade over to Blu-ray. Blu-ray looks good, but just falls a little flat. Doesn't have the richness. Doesn't have that richness that the 4K does. Now for the audio, they gave us a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. Probably would have been nice to see an upgrade in audio here, especially being the type of movie it is and so eerie at times. But it is a great, solid track overall. The balance, my only problem with the audio track is the balance across the front soundstage. It is a little off at times. It's not quite perfect. There's times when everything's coming from the center channel like it should be, the dialogue. But then sometimes it kind of bleeds off to the left or right and it just doesn't sound great. And sometimes sound effects just doesn't quite it's not mixed properly. But I mean, overall, it is a nice track. Again, it's not quite perfect. It's just like, you know, just me being a little bit nitpicky. It just doesn't feel natural at times, but a lot of times it does sound great, but like I said, just not all the time. But it does have that nice overall ambience to it, and especially during the scenes when it's perfectly quiet, and it really gives you those creepy vibes where you're just waiting for something to happen. You can just hear those nice little subtle sounds. You know, it does have that nice low-end bass when needed, especially when they're landing the shuttle on the planet. That really gives you a nice little rumble. And then when they're out and they go outside, when they're going to the ship, they're, you know, giving you the shots outside, and you hear the loud wind. I mean, just really loud. And all of a sudden it cuts to inside with Ash, and just nice and quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Then it cuts back to the noisy outside scene. So that's kind of cool how they go back and forth. So outside the not-so-perfect balance issue on the front soundstage, it does have a nice track overall. Now for the packaging, this did come with a slipcover, but unfortunately that was back when I was throwing them away, so I don't have it anymore. I kind of wish I would have kept it, being because it's Alien, one of my favorite movies. But you can see this cover looks a little bit different. This is actually mine. I actually designed a whole set of Alien covers, so this is my own custom design. And each movie, it all has matching designs, just different. I use different color tones for each movie. And it does come with a Blu-ray, but they didn't do anything fancy. I think for a big anniversary edition for the movie, they would have done some cool artwork, but they did not do that here. Now for the special features here, we have an audio commentary with Ridley Scott, cast and crew. And also we have an introduction by Ridley Scott, which is only the director's cut Blu-ray. They also have the full isolated music score from Jerry Goldsmith. Also, we have a deleted and extended scenes. Now, this also does have both versions of the film, the original theatrical and director's cut. I stick with the theatrical version. The director's cut's have very minimal differences. Even Ridley Scott admits himself that he's not a fan of the director's cut. He didn't want to do it. Well, it was something they wanted, and he kind of caved and did it. But he prefers a theatrical cut, so that's what I watch all the time, and I love it. So to wrap it up, the 4K here of Alien is incredible. Definitely one of the best 4Ks out there. Mainly I watched it again because I'm still working on putting together a top 10 list of 4Ks. So I'm going back and watching some of my favorites, and this is definitely in my top 10. Where it ends up, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if you don't have this on 4K, I would recommend picking this up. It's incredible. Unfortunately, the price-wise, it's still extremely expensive. Right now, it's around $26.99. And being under the Disney banner, they don't give a shit about running deals. And so it's very hard to see. You know, just basically look for some deals out there. You know, maybe go on eBay, see if you can find some used copies. So that pretty much does it for my look at the 4K of Alien. Please check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and comment below. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you soon. Geek out.